as we edge closer to a slam-packed Boxing Day schedule out in the Championship, what I really, really, really want for Christmas is a fit and healthy Bradley Dack. Is that something that's realistic? We'll talk about it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another match preview. This time, bigging up Blackburn Rovers Boxing Day encounter with Birmingham City at Ewood Park, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, World Football here under Warowski. That's right, Bradley Dack. Question marks remain around his fitness and availability heading into 2020. Chances are he's not going to be available for the Birmingham City game, but how far back or how bad is that injury? Well, we'll try and answer those questions a little bit later, but until then, let's take a look at the match in a bit more detail, shall we? So Rovers go nowhere this Boxing Day. They stay right at Ewood Park. That's where the game takes place. 26th of December. That is Boxing Day to you and me. Pep Gatet is the manager for Birmingham, and the danger man for me is Jude Bellingham. That's right, wonder kid extraordinaire for Birmingham. Last season they finished 17th, and their record against Rovers is 126 matches, 47 wins, 33 draws, and 46 defeats, and that includes the victory earlier in the season in St Andrews. The last matches, obviously last season, they drew 2-2 at St Andrews and also drew 2-2 with Rovers at Ewood Park. I think Rovers want to get better than this time because we lost St Andrews earlier in the season. We're going to do it all again in the FA Cup in a couple of days' time as well. Yep. Down the bottom there, that's what we're talking about, the 26th of December, this encounter. So let's take a look at some stats and figures for you heading into this. This is the Rovers touches and stuff like that heading into this on average. So on average, Rovers attack down the right-hand side, 38% of all attacks coming from the right-hand side, 35% coming down the left, 27% down the middle. As for action zones, 30% of their opposition, or 30% of their play happens in the opposition third. As for the shots, 60% of the shots take place within 18-yard box and 71% down the middle, so straight down your throat to the goalkeeper. As for the shots against Rovers, 61% down the middle, 51% in the 18-yard box, 41% from outside the box. Long ranges seem to be a favour for Rovers opposition. As for the goals, well, let's take a look at it. Goals scored against Rovers, 20 of them from open play, 4 from set pieces, 3 penalties and 1 big fat OG. As for Rovers goals scored, they scored 19 from open play, 7 from set pieces, 2 penalties and 2 OGs. What about their opposition this Boxing Day? Well, Birmingham, they seem to prefer the right-hand side. 39% of all their attacking adventures come down the right-hand side, with 44% of the action zones taking place in the middle third. 70% of their shots happen through the middle, with 52% in the 18-yard box, with 37% outside. However, they do the shots against Birmingham, 67% take place through the middle of the park, with 60% in the 18-yard box, 31% in the outside of the 18-yard box. How do they score their goals? Well, they scored 12 of them through set pieces, 10 through open play, 1 counter-attack and 1 OG. Height is a major advantage for Birmingham. As for their goals conceded, 18 through open play, 11 through set pieces, 2 counter-attacks and 3 penalties. With that bearing in mind, let's take a little look at my expected starting lineup. So we're going to kick it off with Rovers. Here they are, with Walton between sticks. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. Downing at left back, Lenihan, Adebayo coming back into it, Nyambe at right back, Travis and Bennett gets the nod, Rothwell, Armstrong, Holtby, and I've gone for Sam Gallagher up front here to see if he can score some goals, because we need some. Up against the Birmingham side now, I'm going with this one for them. Truman between sticks, Pedersen, Dean, Clark Salter and Colin. You might see a youngster in the back four there instead of Clark Salter, but I'm going to go with a little bit more experience there. He's not that much experience, but you know what I mean. The low knee. Sunjic and Gardner. I'm going through in the defensive midfield slots with Crowley, Magoma, Montero and Jurewicz up top. Again, they have been rotating the squad of recent times. I don't know too much details about that, if it's suspensions or if it's injuries or whatever, but this is what I'm going to guesstimate at the Birmingham City lineup. Let's look at the stats now. Obviously, Dacarino, big question marks around him. 10 goals for him so far, so we're going to do without that. Armstrong with 5 goals, Williams got 3, and Gallagher has 3. As for discipline, 6 yellows for Lenihan, 4 for Bennett, 4 for Cunningham, and 4 for Williams. Dacarino is the one and only red card so far this season. As for the goals for Birmingham, 5 for Jurewicz, 3 for Jimenez, 3 from Pedersen, and 2 for Sunjic. Sunjic also tops the discipline with 7 yellow cards, 5 for Jimenez, 4 for Davies, and 4 for Roberts. And Harley Dean's the one and only player with a red card to his name. Let's take a look at the last 5 matches for both sides here. Rovers coming to us on the back of that 0-0 draw against Wigan. That's a shambles. We did beat Bristol City out there, placed 2-0, whilst drawing against Swansea 1-1 at the Liberty. We also beat Derby at home and Stoke City on the road. As for Birmingham, they come into this 3 defeats on the spin, losing to Hull, West Brom and QPR. They did pick up a win against Reading and drew against Millwall in their last 5. Moving forward, though, into 2020, Rovers will be taking on Huddersfield on the 29th of December at the Kirklees, and on New Year's Day, it's Forest. We'll do it all again at the St Andrews against Birmingham City in the FA Cup on the 4th of Jan, before we take on Preston once again, 11th of January at Ewood Park, and we'll wrap up the 5-game stretch against Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough. Birmingham, though, they'll take on Leeds to end 2019, but they'll start 2020 with a bang against Wigan Athletic. Again, Rovers are on the horizon 4th of January before taking on Luton Town at Kenilworth Road on 11th of January, and they'll wrap it up against Cardiff City, the 5-game stretch against in the Championship. So moving on to this game in particular, let's take a look at the last 5 or 6 games between the two sides. Obviously, earlier in the season, it was a 1-0 win for Birmingham. Maxime Colin getting the one and only goal. Rovers only actually won 1 of the last 6. That was back in 2016 at Ewood Park. Tony Watt and Big DG on the score sheet that day. But prior to the game at St Andrews, it was 1, 2, 3 draws on the spin. Birmingham also picked up a victory at St Andrews 2016 with Stephen Gleeson on the score sheet. It's for the last 6, though, at Ewood Park. 2 wins for Rovers, 3 draws, 1 win for Birmingham. That win for Birmingham was back in 2013. It was a 3-2 win. Lee Novak with a brace, Chris Burke to make it 3. Jordan Rose got 2, but unfortunately wasn't enough for Rovers. But before that, 4 games... or after that, should I say, 4 games unbeaten run against Birmingham, but we need a win, folks. We need a win. None of this draw business. It's been back-to-back draws at the moment with Big DG scoring 3 games in succession against Birmingham at Ewood Park. So can we make it 4? I don't know. I don't think I've gotten the starting 11. He's going to do it from the bench if at all. Let's take a look at the home and away form for both of these sides coming into this. Rovers coming into this 6 games unbeaten at least at home, with 4 wins on the spin in the middle of the park there against Sheffield Wednesday, Barnsley, Brentford and Derby. We did draw with Wigan and also drew with Huddersfield back in the end of October. As for Birmingham, just the 1 win at 6 in the last 6 away games, and that win was against Reading. They did lose to Hull last time out. In fact, just the 1 defeat of the past 4, if you want to look at it in a little bit more fancy ways. So draws against Sheffield Wednesday and Huddersfield. They did lose to Cardiff and did lose to Leeds away from home as well. So not too shitty. Let's take a look at the strengths and weaknesses of both these sides heading into this. Rovers are likely to create long shot opportunities, and defending set pieces is their strengths. As for some of the weaknesses, protecting the lead and avoiding the offside trap. We like to play out wide and also through the middle. We rotate the first 11, but we're also pretty non-aggressive. As for Birmingham, they like they're very good at attacking set pieces. Aerial duels is obviously one of their strong suits. They also create scoring chances and stealing the ball from opposition. Their weaknesses is keeping possession of the ball, defending counter-attacks, defending against set pieces, avoiding individual errors, finishing scoring chances, and defending against through ball attacks. They like to take lots of shots, control the game in the opposition's half, attack through the middle, and they are very aggressive with a consistent first team 11. With all that said and well and done, let's take a look at the form table heading into this. Rovers find themselves 3rd in the overall form table. That's both home and away, picking up a max 14 points out of a possible 18. It's actually joint top if you want to look at it. Birmingham, though, found themselves in 20th spot. 3 defeats on the spin, just 1 win out of 6 heading into this. 5 points out of a possible 18 heading into this. Rovers' home form is 3rd best at the moment, 14 points out of a possible 18. Obviously drawing last time out against Wigan, but before that 4 wins on the spin. Birmingham's home form is not the greatest. 4 defeats, 4 games without a win, but we're not really bothered about that. What we're really bothered about is their away form, and they sit in 16th spot with their away form. 1 defeat at the past 4, I've already mentioned that, but also 1 win in the past 6. So not great away form. 5th, they lie 16th in the table, 5 points out of a possible 18 as well. So they're the strongest championship teams at the moment. Well, Leeds still lead the way possession-wise, on average 59.8% possession on each and every game. Fulham are second for 59.7%. Brentford, West Brom and Swansea make up the top 5. As for the most aggressive sides, Barnsley lead the way with 58 yellows, 1 red. Wigan second, QPR 3rd, Sheffield Wednesday 4th, and Borough are in 4th. As for aerial duels, Birmingham are up here. They're in 2nd spot behind West Brom. Birmingham win 55.6% of all aerial duels that take place. Millwall actually win 54%. Reading 52% as well as Cardiff. Shots per game, Leeds lead the way with that on average 16.6 shots per game. Brentford not too far behind with 14.3. Barnsley, Sheffield Wednesday and Fulham make up the top 5. Pass accuracy, Fulham lead the way on this one with 85.6% on average pass rating per game. West Brom not far behind, 81% as well. Leeds, Swansea and Brentford make up the top 5 in this one. How about the top of the table? Well, West Brom do lead the way. They got 50 points on the board. Leeds are in 2nd with 47. Into the playoffs, we have Sheffield Wednesday, Fulham, Preston and Brentford. Down the bottom, it's Stoke, Wigan and Barnsley are going down at the moment. A win for Birmingham, who are in 15th spot, could see them rise well, they can't go anywhere really. They could just strengthen their position in the middle of the table. But a win for Rovers could get us into the playoffs. And again, I think this is a little bit of a better scenario than it was on Monday, because all other games would be taking place. Not all eyes on us. We can kind of maybe do our thing and squeeze in there without anyone paying attention and get into those playoff spots. But yes, what about the games that are taking place on Boxing Day? Let's take a little look. Well, it's a slam-packed schedule with every team taking place. There might be a couple of games taking place a little bit later than the others. But Middlesbrough against Huddersfield, that's one of them, including Cardiff, Millwall, Wigan against Derby, Luton against Fulham, Brentford take on Swansea, Charlton against Bristol City, Stoke against Sheffield Wednesday, Barnsley, West Brom, Hull City against Nottingham Forest. Later in the day, it's Leeds against Preston and Reading against QPR. Some of the highlights, I think Leeds against Preston will be obviously a cracker. Who else? Brentford, Swansea is good. Two teams that are chipping away at those playoff spots. Hull City and Nottingham Forest will also be a bit of a banger as well. But obviously, the game of the weekend or game of the Boxing Day will be at Ewood Park, Rovers against Birmingham. Hopefully, get back to winning ways against a team that we're gonna know too well. We're gonna be like playing each other's pockets come the end of January, because we will play each other 3 times in the space of the 5 months of the season. Anyway, let's take a look at the top goal scoring charts. Mitrovic leads the way with 17 goals to his name. Bowen's in 2nd spot with 15. Watkins is then there 13. Then we have Fletcher, Grant, Bamford, Graben, Woodrow. Dacarino's in there, but for how long? And Eze is in the top 10. As for the assist makers, Pereira tops the charts with 10 assists. Eliasson has 8. Swift and Mao have 7. And Brun of Luton has 6. Yes. Well, that's your lot. Look at Fisher. He's got 10 yellows to his name. So, folks, obviously, games come thick and fast this time of year. And after this game, it's not long until we take on Huddersfield. So, possibilities. 3 achievable games. The Nottingham Forest game will be a bit of a banger as well. The Huddersfield game is also looking tricky. I think they get trickier as the games go on. I think, obviously, Wigan was a doable game, but we slipped up a little bit on that one. Birmingham is very winnable, but it's also a tricky one because they've beaten us before and we got them on the horizon as well. So if we can win against Birmingham and maybe go unbeaten in the next 2 and take 5, I'd take 5 points out of a possible 9 at the moment. If we can get over half. If we can get over half of the target within the next 3, I think I'll be content with it. As for the Birmingham FA Cup game, not too bothered about that if we win or lose. To be honest with you, I'd rather lose and keep ourselves fresh for the championship, because it's just another distraction. But anyway, folks, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up. If you're new, smash the subscribe. New videos every single day right here on the channel. Hopefully you can join me for the FA Cup Live Spectacular with Cast the Cat, the digital version. We're going to do each and every one of the FA Cup games predictions live on the channel on Christmas Eve. So check that sucker out. But until then, I'm going to let you get out of here. Smash the thumbs up. Smash the subscribe. I'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.